Hello, hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Inglês no Rádio. My name is Foster, and this is another special episode. Let's say special in quotations, a special episode of Inglês no Rádio because we are out in the woods. We are socially distancing. This is how podcasters, at least this is how we are dealing with the global pandemic. So let's continue the theme of some podcast recommendations. Obviously, you are listening to a podcast, so I am guessing that you enjoy podcast. I certainly enjoy podcast, and I imagine you would enjoy having a few good recommendations of podcasts to listen to during quarantine. So that's what we're doing today. And today I want to recommend 3 podcasts that you can listen to on Spotify. And Spotify is not paying us to say this. We are just giving Spotify some love because they are really improving their podcast game recently, and I'm impressed. So there are 3 specific podcasts on Spotify that I am really enjoying currently. And the first one is Harry Potter at Home. Obviously, what is the best remedy for a global pandemic? Harry Potter, Hogwarts, Hermione, Hagrid, Dumbledore, Sirius. Those are my best friends right now. And a really cool thing that they're doing on Spotify is a variety of characters, actors, a variety of people involved in Harry Potter and the wizarding world are reading live. So they are starting with the first book, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, if you are reading the British version. And the first chapter of the first book is read by the one, the only, Daniel Radcliffe, the actor that plays Harry Potter in the films. And then the second chapter, I believe, is read by the actress that plays Hermione on Broadway, or when they do like a musical rendition of Harry Potter, I suppose. But if you want to, rekindle your love for Harry Potter and all of the wizards and witches of the world, I really recommend checking it out. It's a lot of fun. It's a great way to improve your listening skills with a British accent. If you're interested in that kind of thing. And if you've never read Harry Potter before, like a crazy person, this is a great time to check it out and cross that off your list. So my first Spotify recommendation is Harry Potter at Home. And my second recommendation, I think, has to be Reply All. So Reply All is one of my favorite podcasts of all time. Honestly, if someone has never listened to podcasts before, if one of my good friends or family says, "Hey, Foster, I know that you know a lot about podcasts. What is just one podcast that you could recommend that I start with?" I would probably recommend Reply All because it is just so good. It's an incredible, incredible show. Okay, got a bunch of kids walking my way, so I'm going to have to pick up my things and start walking. Just a minute. And we're back. So Reply All, the way they advertise it, their tagline, their punchline is Reply All is a show about the internet. But to be honest, it is so much more than that. It is fantastic. It is hosted by 2 guys named PJ Vogt and Alex Goldman, and they are both professional audio journalists. They are brilliant. They are hilarious and funny. They have a beautiful and really fascinating relationship. And sometimes they talk about the internet. Sometimes they talk about very nerdy things that happen online. But a lot of times they just have insane and crazy stories. one episode that I would really recommend checking out that I listened to again recently is they have 2 episodes. I believe it's episode 131 and 132. And the title is something about a call center. But essentially, a call center scam is happening to Alex Goldman, one of the hosts. So a guy from India is calling him and trying to steal money from him. And they start figuring out this scam, and it's this huge scheme, and they end up going to India and becoming friends with all these scammers. It's a crazy story, and it's just a wonderful form of journalism that you don't really hear too often, and it's really, really special. And on Spotify, they have a list of, I believe it says new to Reply All, start here, or like Reply All best places to start, something like that. But they have probably 10 or 15 episodes that are some of the classic episodes, the most popular ones. And that's what I recommend doing, is just starting there. That is Reply All. So, responder a todos. Reply All. And yeah, it's fantastic. I cannot recommend it highly enough. And finally, my third recommendation of podcasts that you can listen to on Spotify right now. This is a new one that I actually just started yesterday. It is called Winds of Change. Winds, like vento, of change. And it is about this crazy CIA conspiracy kind of situation that really happened. So it's about the band, the Scorpions, the German rock band from the 1980s and 90s. You might know them from the song Hurricane. It's like, here I am, da 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 da, rock you like a hurricane, da da. That song. So they sing Rock You Like a Hurricane. They sing a lot of famous stuff. But apparently, one of their most famous songs, a song called Winds of Change, was written by the CIA during the Cold War and the falling of the Berlin Wall and all that crazy stuff. So it's a fascinating story. It's just 8 episodes. I've listened to the first 2 episodes, but it is a perfect mix of like spy thriller, spycraft, music, international travel, all of these things, mystery, suspense, rock and roll, all of these things mixed into 8 episodes. So I think I'm going to binge this podcast. I think I'm going to listen to like 4 episodes on my way home today. But it's like a Netflix series. It's the perfect thing right now for quarantine. If you just want to take your mind off of everything that is happening in the world and get really deep and invested in a crazy story, I would recommend the podcast Winds of Change on Spotify. So there you go. There you have it, my friends. 3 podcast recommendations on Spotify. And it's Harry Potter at Home, Reply All, and Winds of Change. These are great things that you can do to spend your time in, I don't want to say more productive, but in like a creatively productive, fun way, and improve your English. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day, staying safe, washing your hands, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Un beijo.